Hey everyone, it's Sam here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous card. So this one, when you open it up, you have this beautiful pop-up vase. It all folds flat. See all that lovely gold foiling on there as well, and those pretty floral papers. It's all part of my new collection, so let me show you how to make it. So these are all the products that I'm using to make that card. So this is the new Bouquet Builder die set. Then I brought back the old Love and Cake die set, and I'm going to be using the kind of trellis detail here. And then in this set, the pop-up mechanisms, you want this die and the small one there. So this one and this one. These will all go through a small die machine. The longer ones, if you've got your extender plate, use that one. But they do go through the normal plates. Just maybe tack it down with some tape and just pass it through one way and then pass it back the other. And then I'm also using the lovely Notes and Stars 3D embossing folder. So this is an 8x8 one, so you would need a larger machine for this one. But you can see that gorgeous 3D detail there. And I'll show you in the card, because I've already started putting some of it together. You can see all of that lovely detail. So this is a 5x7 card blank, and I'm also using the new paper pad, which I'm obsessed with, and I've taken the pretty floral design there. So 5x7 card blank, use some white cardstock and emboss that, stuck that down so it's nice and strong. And then on the front I've cut the pattern paper 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, stuck that down. And then from your stash, just get some circle dies. This is optional, you don't need to have the open aperture. But I've got this one, which is 3 1/4 diameter, and just run that through your machine. I've done it this way, and I just passed it through. And then I got the next size up. You might have a decorative frame if you want, and just stick those together. So you've got a nice even frame. And then I used gold cardstock, and I've created that frame, and I stuck that over the top. Okay, so already we've got a pretty card there. Then you want to cut these. So I've used a heavyweight 300 GSM cardstock. You'll see there's little lines where the score lines are, so they will show up when you pass it through. But I always like to just use my scoreboard to go over them. But you just want to fold all of those, so they're mounting folds. And then this middle section, just add a bit of shape to it, like so. Now the reason I've brought back this one here is because all of these elements work perfectly with this particular style card. So you can turn this into a little pop-up cup, so you've got your handle there. You can turn it into a pop-up cake. You can have a single tier, 2 tier, 3 tier, it's entirely up to you. You can have it as a basket and have anything popping out of it. You've also got the steam there for the teacup if that's what you'd like. You've also got the scallop detail there for the different tiers, different trims. But I want to make like a basket with the flowers. I ran it through again with brown card, and I just snipped off this part and the tabs, so I have this solid piece to cover all of it. You do get in the set a matte layer to go over this if you want to as well, so it's up to you what you want to cut. Again, I'm just going to add some shape into that. Then I cut that main one in the craft card, and that is going to stick over the top. You can ink it up as well. I think I'm going to stick it down and then add the ink, so I can just get a little bit of depth, like darker parts. That will overhang, we'll just trim that off, but you can see obviously it fits on there really well. So I'm just going to take my quick grab glue, and I think I just kind of see I go from there and there. I can see. Just going to add, mainly focus on the main kind of frame there, down the sides. You could cut this with double-sided tape if you want, and then just peel it off so it's like one big sticker. That will work as well, but I think this will be fine. Just place that over the top, just give that a minute to dry. And I'm just going to snip away. Okay, so that's all drying. So you're going to take this one, and you also want to use this little one here and just cut your little tab. That's going to hold it in place. Okay, and then we're going to stick this in. Now, because this is shop brought, it's slightly shorter than 5 inches. When you're making your own card blank, yours will be exactly 5. So if you do have shop brought, it's not a problem, but you might just want to take just a tiny little bit off of this tab here. You don't need to worry about these, just that one there, because you just want to make sure that when you sit it in, so all of those, it's like that, you're lying it down, that tab there needs to sit right up to the fold of the card. Okay, and you'll see when you close it, you just want that to all be covered inside there. Now I'm going to bring mine down so it's probably just above or just in line with the matte layer, and these tabs here you're going to tuck under. So first we'll just add the glue to this tab here, so all over the top, just using the quick grab glue. Make sure everything's nice and straight, and then stick that one down first until that's completely secure. Now when you open this, you'll see it will pull it across, which is what you want. Okay, make sure you've got no glue anywhere. Now if you open this one up, you can then add your glue to these two tabs. Okay, and then keep them folded down and close the card. Now make sure those are completely dry because they are going to have the pressure on to create the curve shape. Okay, so once you're happy, it's all stuck down, just carefully lift it up. And as you lift it up, just make sure those tabs aren't pulling away. Just pinching them down. Take my bone folder actually and just give them a really good burnish. Because you put the curve in beforehand, you see it goes up into that curve really well. If you don't curve it, you'll find it will resist more. So I do highly recommend that you do shape the card before you stick it in. But you'll see now already we've got that raised hill, mountain, platform, whatever you want it to be. But you'll see this lifts up here. So that's where this piece comes into play. And basically you just sit it over that piece and you want it to go as a stopper so it will stick right up to where that edge is there. The folded part where I folded it over, that's just a guide for you to add your glue. So just a little glue like so. Turn it over because the glue is sticking onto here. Okay, I've given you plenty of room. It's thicker. Like if you just sit it over there, you'll see it's much thicker than that. But just pop it over there and just, it's hard for me to obviously show this in the video, but if I stick it down and then hold it up, it should make sense. But you want to do this when it's open because it can then slide flat. And then when you bring it up, what it now does is it keeps this all down and it stops it lifting. But can you see in there? So I've got the glue just sticking here and then just there. So it's over that bar. So you want to make sure that can slide through. Okay. Then I can stick this one over the top. So now you can see we've got our basket. And then you can decorate. And that's where I'm going to use my wonderful new florals. So I just talk you through what you can do. So you can have them just like this and they look lovely. I think especially if you've got white as the background, the white coming through and the drop shadow, I think they're beautiful. So they're just really detailed pieces. But you can also then lay them up. And to do this, you just get your die and you cut it through 2 pieces of cardstock. And the bottom piece will just create the outline. It won't cut through all the detail. So you have your background then, or your backing for your flower. Just have to move it around until it's the right way. There we go. Okay. You can then also build them up, which is why I've named it that. And you've got the centres, and these are some other ones that I've done. You can see with the middles there, and I've added some glaze, but I'm not going to do that for these ones. I'm going to keep them plain. So there's a couple of ways to do it, and again you can see with this one here, so I just cut it again just so you have that solid background, and then you can have the white coming through. These all cut out, so you can paper piece them different colours as well if you want to. You just want to add a little glue to the back and just stick that down. So I'll stick that one down in a minute, but I've got the 3 big ones, 4 of that size, but you've also got all of these pieces. You've got your half flowers, you've got all the big leaves. So I've got these ones here, which again I just love. It's better on the white. I just love all the little details that have been cut out. The hearts and these little bits are all from this set here, so just taking those ones there. So again, lots of lovely bits to just add that extra decoration. Like the bow there looks really pretty. You've got some other leaves here as well that you can mix in. The colours that I've used, so I've kept them here because I know some of you will ask, and these match perfectly with the paper pad. So if I just grab like these 2 florals here. Seedless Preserves is this colour here, and it is the perfect match. So if you've got Seedless Preserves, I think you'll use that a lot with this. Then I took the Festive Berries, which gives you this nice pinky red. So it pulls out these colours here, and I use that. That's Festive Berries. You can see how well that works. And then for the greens, I found the Evergreen Bow. Oh, perfect. So again, that's this one here. You can see the greens. It's almost identical. You can see it complements it really well. And then I also, for there, that was a bit of the, that was Uncharted Mariner. And it's just brings out this very deep kind of blue that's also in that paper. You can see it like down in here. So that works. And then the other colours that you'll see in other flowers in samples is Ripe Persimmon. The yellows, I've used the Fossilised Amber and Mustard Seed. And then for like a sagey colour, the Bundled Sage is perfect. So those are the distressed ink colours. So the easiest way to build this up, you can use the stems that come in the sets as well. But what I find, so once I've stuck that on there, imagine that's down. I like to stick some elements directly onto the back, but we're using some foam. So just a little bit of dimension. So I might stick that one there, and then maybe one of the yellow ones there, and then maybe, you know, one of the leaves, or a couple of the leaves behind. So that is the very back. Then the rest of it is going to be built up actually on here. So this one, I might just add a little bit of glue just to the bottom there and have it actually attached, just like so. And then I can have the other one, can then just be attached just inside, like so. And then I can fill another yellow one, like maybe on the front here, and all the leaves. And by the time you've filled it all, you want it to be quite full. I've got these as well, all the little sprigs. The idea is that when this is all flat, you get to see your bouquet poking through the aperture there. And once I've added my sentiment, it will just finish it off really nicely. I've got the little hearts, which I might have a couple of them, you know, around the frame here. Make a lovely Mother's Day card as well. So I'm going to get it all stuck down, and then I'll show you when it's all finished. And there's the finished card. I've added the biggest birthday wishes sentiment on the front. You can see the lovely little hearts from that other set and the papers. And then when you open it up, I've got the other sentiment there. I've added the music notes, the little stem details here, and just really filled it up with those flowers. And I love the texture of the embossing folder just poking out from the side there. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and showing you how to put together the pop-up bouquet die set. All of the products that I've used, as always, will be linked in the description box below this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one.